already.
Woo!
Everyone is awake.
Wake up. If you are not awake, it is time to
It's
wake
time.
up, goddesses. Wake up. Good morning. We are now broadcasting live from the SLAYGROUND, where all goddesses come to eat, play, and slay.
All
And this
right.
is the new podcast, Me Moments in the Morning. Welcome in, goddesses. I'm Tracy King, the life midwife, aka Slay with Trey. And my beautiful co-host today is none other than the Sacred SelfCare Goddess, Dr. Marie.
Good morning. I am excited to be here. Excited. So, looking forward to more of us coming together this way. And that's how we start our day, slaying the day and setting the tone for our day. So, it's great to be here. It's great to be back. And we have a co host. We know they are here with us as well. Martin Spirit, and then Val is there somewhere. I know she's playing music for us somewhere. Some
Right. They
play,
are
play, play.
here. They are here. All right. So this is what we like to call Freedom Friday. Freedom. Freedom Friday.
Freedom.
Yes. And in talking about freedom, well, I think that with you talking about the planting seeds today, because you're
Mhm.
planting seeds, that it has to be part of the process of finding your freedom. So we claiming
Mm.
this is Freedom Friday, y'all. And Marie, are you ready? Are
Am
you
I
ready?
ready?
Are you
Every day I'm talking about planting seeds. Every single day. Every season, every day. It doesn't matter what the time is. It is happening. So for me, it's just a beautiful way, regardless of what day it is, for us to think about what we are planting. And so when I say seeds, what do you think I mean by seeds? Do you think it's little seeds or there's some other meaning?
You know, in my world, it's always another meaning to
Like, could
stuff.
it be an acronym? Is it an acronym, Murray? Could
Is it
seed
an
be an acronym?
If you want it to be, I got you. I got
I'm
you.
gonna have to make seed an acronym somewhere in there. So that might be a fun project to really think about. But I think of seeds as habits when it comes to us.
Mm,
And I'm literally asking you what you're planting, whether you have a garden, but what your the habits that you're planting. And to me, the first garden is your mind.
yes.
So
Yeah.
what are you planting there? What seeds are you planting there? What thoughts are going through every day? And thoughts become things and seeds grow into whatever you intended for them to be. But of course, how are you taking care of those seeds? And is it something you just do when you remember? Or do you make sure that you're continuously planting seed
Yeah.
and replanting the seeds? And then, sometimes we transplant things and making them happen. And so that's the part where it's like every season, and for me, it's every day. What are you planting? Sometimes it's the same one, other time it's some new one, but also the idea of like naming it. What exactly are you planting? So that's why just saying, what is it you're planting? Because sometimes we're just throwing seeds around.
That's
And
true.
sometimes other people's seeds literally can come to you. I don't know, literally sometimes where it's like, whether it's your neighbor, anyone that's around you, their stuff or their habits can literally be contagious. And then
Mm-hmm.
before you know it, you're like, I didn't plan this. No, but you've been around. You've allowed people to come in your energy that have those habits. And then when you think as children, as those of us in work environment, whoever, whatever that's in your circle on a regular daily basis, you
Yeah.
will be growing those things, whether you intentionally planted them or not.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's important to cultivate, to me, your own self-love garden. Everything else, should come second. But what we've been taught or conditioned to do
Mhm.
is to cultivate everyone else's, their
Hmm.
dreams, their visions. We go to work every day, right? A lot of us go to work every day
Yep.
because we're helping to cultivate somebody else's dream, somebody else's garden. So
Yeah. No, think about that. I mean, part of it's definitely part of the journey. It's part of every season you in. But also
mm,
the idea, I think I had another, one of my favorite things is like there's a season for everything. And it's the same thing. Seeds can also be like somebody can think like relationships is what I want to plant. So as we're having this conversation, you can also start thinking about what do you want to plant? whether
Mm-hmm.
it's in the season, whether it's today, and the relationships that can help you. And then what does it need? Once that seed is planted, what does it need to become, to grow into what you intended for it to be? And that's you. You are you. You're the one who's really going to be growing through those seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Hello,
Yeah.
Val.
Hey, Val. How are you this morning, goddess?
I'm awake and alive. That's good.
Awake.
That's good.
Awake.
All right. We're glad you're here with us this morning.
What y'all talking about?
Your favorite subject. You heard us. You're like, what did she say? Music and seeds. I'm here. I am here. Music and seeds. Okay.
Oh.
So those are the fun topics. So we were up late last night. We might as well had a pajama party last night, Val. Spontaneous pajama party.
Yeah.
People should be asleep or awake. We did a nice breathe and stretch. And to me, that's another planting seeds. Right before you go to bed, you're like, "Ooh, what do I need to do?" But it was interesting to be like the restlessness that a lot of us are in, and they're like, "What do we do? Let's come together and just like share."
So
Well, I missed that pajama
restlessness.
party.
Yeah, it was, and I was planning on getting off,
Oh, you kept saying
and
that, but that's not
I kept,
happening.
yeah, I saw that, and then people were coming in, and then we were chit chatting, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, what is that about? That's
Mm,
exciting. So,
Yeah.
um, I love what was being shared, and I think that's when you get into a welcoming community, especially something that's going to help you breathe at night, and you're talking about how you sleep, which you really shouldn't be taking before bed,
mm.
what are some of your routines before bed? Maybe I shouldn't watch Living Single before I go to sleep. I don't know.
You never know. You never know. You never know. But it was great to be again in community to gather, right? And to be able to share that together, right? And for people to be like, well, this is the reason I'm up. This is why this is happening. This is such and such. And so, but being able to listen, but also offer a wisdom. A wisdom. I just love
Yes.
saying that in terms of what are we doing. Like we all seem to struggle. Like you think we got it together for this or that, right? But I love that we can ask somebody else, offer. So in a bizarre way, I'm gonna come up with something new. So to me, it's almost like intentionally like swapping your seats. Like you come together and you're like, oh, you do this, I can do that. That was like, you do a little. Do you have a little diffuser that you put on? I don't know if you put it on at night.
Yeah, I do. I do. In fact, it's back here, but it's not even on yet.
Yeah,
But yeah.
but it's
Hmm.
it's there somewhere. And we all have something that's working for us, and so a lot of time it's great to hear from other people. Like, what are you doing? What's working for you? What's not working for you? And so I think, but that was so spontaneous. Like there was to those who are just listening and coming in, they're like, oh, this is a great conversation. But the main course, for lack of better words, was done in terms of like the breathing and stretching. But literally the leftovers I thought was really as tasty in terms of the conversation that continued and the afterglow in terms of like, oh, what did you all just talk about? You did this, you did that. And then we just like it just flowed as if we were expecting these people to come in. And then one person was like, I do this, but it gets on my nerves. So I'm not doing that anymore. But it's like the thing that works for you may not work for another person, but still share it because you just never know what they may find helpful. And
Yeah.
so I've had that experience with seeds. Shocking. Where somebody has given me seeds from their garden, right? And I planted it and it grew into this beautiful flower. And she's just like, I have the same seed. I don't understand. Mine are not flowering. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing in your space, but the seeds you gave me are flourishing.
Right. Right.
Okay. So sometimes it's not just the seed, but it's like where are you putting it? It's just like us. Like what environment are you in that
Mm-hmm.
allows you to flourish? Is
How are
it
you
just
cultivating that
yep.
seed? Mm-hmm.
And what did you do before you get there? We talk a lot about, we're still in the season of the new moon. We talked about releasing and making space and weeding things out because it's like, are you making room to actually grow and harvest what seed you planted? So if there's
Mm-hmm.
like a bunch of weeds there, the seeds are there, but they're gonna be suffocated. They're not gonna be able to really come up and flourish as you expected. So did you take the time to weed it out and make space for them to truly do well? And did you nurture it? Because you're just thinking like, I'm planting seed, you threw it in there, you let a bunch of things suffocate them, and then you're like, nothing happened. I did what you said. You ever heard people say this to you? I did what you said.
Ah!
I
Right.
did it.
I followed the directions. I did it. I did it.
I did it.
What
And
does
I
it
got
say on
nothing.
this bottle?
The instruction, did you read the instructions, right? And
Right.
so, you're looking at others and you're like, their stuff worked out. How come mine didn't work out? And so part of that also is the idea of, it's one of the things I love about that, the idea of planting seeds, is patience, because it's not going to come up. And some of us, we don't give ourselves grace. We don't give ourselves time. We think like, oh, I'm going to start working on this. And then tomorrow, magically, whatever it is you did
It's gonna be
yesterday.
in blossom.
But you see that expectation for people where you're like, all this is going to change, or habits that they've had for years. We're talking years in the making. And somehow they're going to be able to either change that overnight, or you're going to help them change that overnight. And I'm like, how? The magic wand? Like, how am I going to help you unlearn and make the time for you to truly work on those habits, or even create new habits that serve you better?
24 hours. You can't help me get this done in 24 hours.
I have
I
the
got
secrets,
you.
right? I can share the secret with you. Sign up today. Okay? Sign up today.
Ah, y'all stop buying into that bullshit too, because it's all bullshit. If anybody tells you that they can get you to go from A to Z in 30 days or less, 30 days or less,
Yeah.
it's BS. It's BS. Whatever
And
it is,
yeah.
I don't believe in all
But
that.
we love that, right? I think
We
those are
do.
the people who get the masses, for lack of a better word, right? And
Mhm.
so if I'm saying like, let's take the time, we'll work on this, it's a journey, it's a process, and it's going into one ear out of the other. It's like, what is she saying? It's gonna take time. I don't have time. And then
Right.
to make it even more impossible, it's not like it's impossible. Are you gonna make the time? You gonna do it. Even though I'm
Yeah.
saying those things, I'm giving these instructions, you're saying you want those things. Are you truly gonna make the time to first plant it? You the one who gotta plant it, to give it what it needs, to actually find out what does it need to actually grow, and make the time daily. So again, it's not when you remember, when you feel like it. Habits are automatic. So when you're doing those kind of things, they almost have to become a reflex. The way you like, I get home, I watch this show. Before bedtime, living single. Like there's no thinking there. You just do it.
Right.
So
Right.
those are the things you need the same way for the good habits. And
Mhm.
so we are creatures of habit. So therefore, you literally gonna have to keep doing those things. And I know it's uncomfortable because there's a lot of discomfort in the process of change, even if you say you want change. I don't know, too many
Yeah.
people say, I want change. But change is gonna happen whether you want it or not. But
Well,
what
True.
can you do?
change is good, and I want to throw my hat in there and saying that it literally does take 21 days to put a good habit into practice.
Literally.
Yeah, minimally at 21 days.
Mhm.
30 days, it's there you are, because there's something that myself and Dr. Marie are involved in. And at first, I was thinking, am I going to do this every day at this time to this time? For 4 days out of my
Yeah.
morning, I can barely get up in the morning. Like,
Mhm.
is that
Yeah.
happening? And after about a month, it was plugged in.
Hmm.
And so
I'll be
whatever that good habit is, you can do it. You can start to put it into practice. I definitely agree with you on that.
there. Mhm.
Yeah. And
All right.
go ahead. Oh, go ahead. What you
No,
got,
go ahead.
Miss Gray? But
No,
the
You go ahead.
but the one thing that I love the seeds analogy, because I'm thinking now I hate to say what it is. It is 29 degrees outside.
Woo!
It is very chilly in the
29.
Midwest here. 29. And I'm looking at the grass, and it's looking green, but it's looking like, is this it for us? It looks like,
Wow.
oh my gosh. And I know I was thinking about like putting some seeds down or some kind of fertilizer down like maybe a month ago. And then I talked to the person that helps with the gardening, and they were like, no, it's probably done for the season. And I'm like, it is? So it when you're in the Midwest, you're a little obsessed with how your lawn looks, especially if you own property. So you're just kind of thinking, let's just make sure that the lawn looks good. But yeah, but putting the seeds, I would have probably killed my grass for the next season. So it's like I gotta
Mm,
monitor that. I
yeah.
have to monitor what I put in there. So it's a matter of monitoring what you allow to come through the gates of your eyes and what you hear. These are the two
Yes.
gates that it's got to go through some kind of filter. And
Hmm.
Right.
in between your ears, this is the greatest filter and the greatest change maker right here, your brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make up
Yeah.
your mind, honey. Make up your mind.
Right. Free your mind. Okay.
And
So
the rest of the woo!
the question of the day. You ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
The
Oh,
dance
I was
party has
dancing. I'm sorry. I'm back.
Oh, we had a dance
started.
party. I missed it. Just that quick.
Just the shoulders.
This is
Just a
shoulders.
shimmy, shimmy, shake your shimmy. Okay. Um, so the question of the day, as the season is shifting, what seeds would you like to plant in your life? What seeds would you like to plant in your life? I'd like to hear from you all in the chat too. What
Yes, and the
seeds? What
chat.
seeds? What seeds?
And say hi if you are in the chat. If you are here with us, I see Mountain Spirit is here. So many. Welcome, welcome.
What seeds would you like to plant in your life?
What seed would you like to plant?
Hmm.
That's the
Let's
question.
see. I would like to plant seeds that will bring back wonderful crops of health. I want to plant seeds of health.
Okay.
I am honestly thinking about this is the time I want to give myself permission to, pig out because it's coming up on the holiday season.
Hmm.
And I'm now learning I don't like being bloated. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We gonna keep it real, right?
All the time.
We will.
I don't like being bloated. I don't like feeling stuffed.
Mm,
And I don't like when my ankles swell up because I've had too much sodium.
Hmm.
It's just that simple. So I literally have to watch it with what goes through the gate. Remember, I talked about your eye gate, your ear gate. I gotta watch what goes through the gates of my mouth
hmm.
and make sure that at least 80% of what's going through my mouth, going here, has come up out of a ground somewhere, like
Mm,
from the earth, earth.
Earth.
Yeah. So that's one of the seeds of health I would like to sow. What
Nice.
about you guys?
Nice. Do tell, Tracy. Do tell.
I was actually thinking the same thing. I don't know if you hear a little bit
Mm,
congestion, but that's what I've been thinking. And so, even over the last few days, I've been doing some different things in trying to detox, right? And yeah, I would be in agreement with Val. Seeds of good
mm.
health.
Good
Seeds of
health.
good
I agree. As the wellness coaching consultant, I
health.
approve. I approve.
Thank you for your approval, goddess.
Yes. And that's what you plant every day. You do a little something. And
Each day.
you're doing that. We hydrating. And again, I will bring it back to the seed. You are watering yourself. You are hydrating. You're giving yourself some light. Somehow I have more light than most, as you can. It's just a light. Vitamin D is coming through. So all these good stuff that you need that makes you feel good. So the feeling that Val talks about, if you don't want to feel that way, because the beauty of good health is that you can feel good, look good, but also be in an environment that can continue that. And for me, recently I've been thinking more about how do I age well in the process. It's not something that just stay in that one season, but through the seasons, I want to be able to still have vitality. I want to be able to still be doing things that truly brings me joy. And I think by planting those things that naturally does that, and the idea of being closer to nature. And I think because we talked about the new moon recently and all those different things, just taking everything in our space into account. And those things affect us whether we know it or not. And those things also will affect the seeds that you are planting.
Mhm.
and that season. And so sometimes we think it's just us who's doing. And that's why I think that story I shared with the person, thinking like, because I don't know what you did with your seeds, but I did what I had to do with mine to give it what it needed, put it in the environment, and then this is the result. So are you willing to do those things on a daily basis to get this beautiful flower? But then you at the end is the result. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
be you that you're doing all these things for. And so that's the and it's every day. It's mundane. It's just
Mhm.
every single, and you have to be willing to keep doing it. I mean, we do a lot of things that doesn't even serve us and we don't complain about it. But the thing that's truly gonna help you get healthier, more joyful, truly help your that self-love garden that Tracy talks about, you literally resisting doing it. You
Yeah.
resisting. But then you're still saying you want those things, right? And then there's some people who haven't even planted the seeds and they want something from the seed. I'm like, what when did you planted it when? Oh, there's nothing. I did nothing. But there's still the expectation is just like from the people who've been doing the inner work, who've been really nurturing and doing what they need to do to bring that seeds to life and make sure that it's healthy and growing, and one day that they will harvest what they've planted.
All
So
right.
all that to say,
Yeah.
the
Very
seed I'm
true.
planting is seeds of possibilities.
I
All the
like.
time.
I
Seeds
like.
of possibilities. All right. Last message of the day. This is coming from the Slay Bible. And if you want to go back and take a look, it's page 30, 31. Um,
Students, open your books. Open your
open your books to page 30 and 31. Ah, see, nursing is about more than just having a good job or making good money. It is about owning and bringing together all that you learn with all that you are inherently. As for me, nursing helped to cultivate my innate abilities as a healer, a nurturer, a giver, a problem solver, a leader. I channeled those gifts of spirit, ancestors, God, universe, and all that is. I became the embodiment of a calling, not just a nurse in a position. Consider the example of a seed, any seed. Everything it needs to become lay dormant within it, everything. It only needs to be cultivated so it can blossom into its beingness. So consider the seeds that you
Mm.
want to cultivate.
So I
And with
learned all this after the fact. This was all in the book. We
that,
having conversation. I'm like, are we speaking the same language or what?
right, I know, right? It's so funny because we'll have conversations, and I'm like, I think that's in the book. Let's go look, and they always end up matching up. Just hilarious. All right, Ruby. Ruby's in the chat, and Ruby said, I would like
Ruby.
to plant financial abundance for my
All right.
family. Yes.
Financial abundance for self and my family. That's what I heard. That's what I'm reading.
Yes.
Self
Yes,
and my family.
yes, yes.
I added a little bit in there. I added one more
Add
seed.
it. Add it a little bit. Add it a
Yep.
little.
A little fertilizer in the mix.
Right.
So,
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us this morning
you.
for Me Moments in the Morning. We will continue our conversation over on Clubhouse with Me Moments in the Morning, where we get together and we share our gratitude, intention, and affirmation of the day. So if you so choose, please come on over there. I do believe the link is in the chat.
So we can put it in the comments,
Yes.
one of you, and come on over.
Yes.
Belle, come on over. Tracy will be over. I see Taria is here. A Star, Cindy's in the house, and Ruby somehow is in two places.
At one
Keisha,
time.
Belinda, Trisha, Mau, and Joyce. We already have a full house, so we're gonna
All
continue
right.
the conversation on Clubhouse. So thank you everybody for tuning in.
Yeah. Much
We'll be
Bye.
back
love. Yeah.
tomorrow.